Hi, I'm Elisabeth Marchini. Today's interview is with Goober. Goober can be simply described as an impact player, both in the server and in the Deadlock scene as a whole.
Let's play a game.
Yo, how the fuck do we kill this guy?
What's up? Nah, this is normal.
You got it.
At a young age, he has staked his claim as not only one of the top competitive players, but venerable creators that people watch and go to for advice. Literally, as I am filming this, he is on my other monitor. He's in 6 hours plus of streaming. He's trying new movement, and he is gonna release a movement guide out this weekend. Goober has asked to remain faceless, which of course I will be respecting, so don't be weird about that in the comment section or to him or whatever, all right? I'll find you. That being said, grab your tea, because this is a conversation with Goober. So basically just kind of get some background. I'd love to ask kind of like your history with gaming as a whole to kind of, you know, give color to your background with Deadlock, because Deadlock is like combining MOBAs and FPS. I'm always just very curious about where people come from when they approach Deadlock.
I mean, that starts a really long time ago for me, as it did most who play competitive now, but I think my very first game was Minecraft on like an Apple desktop. when I was really young. Either that or it was Terraria Mobile a long time ago. But I've been playing video games for a very long time. But my parents, who were very overprotective at the time, would not let me play shooter games, as like at the time there was like studies which are just completely false that if your kid were to like play shooter games, they'd be like more prone to violence kind of stuff.
Right.
So they were scared to let me play Halo, COD, all that stuff. So a lot of like the household name games that a lot of people like would know and like I've grown up with, it's just not something I grew up with myself personally. The closest thing to an FPS I played was Minecraft version of Counter-Strike on my MacBook Air, or like Roblox Phantom Forces, right? And I played the trackpad for a very long time as a kid. I didn't have a lot of exposure to shooter games. That changed in 2016. I believe I was 8 years old. I was bought, I think it was the either Game of the Year edition or like premium edition of Overwatch, and that was my very first like first-person shooter game that was like an actual serious one. It did really kind of hook me, and then of course like fast forward a bit, Fortnite comes out, and then I'm using that console to play Fortnite with like my IRL friends at the time, right? And I suck absolute ass at that game at the time, right? I'm horrible. I'm just like this little console guy where I was getting like flamed. I don't know if you played Fortnite at the time, but like if you fully broke down a tree, you'd get like your shit roasted in the chat,
Yep.
right? Bro, I was like serial inting.
Been there.
But I mean, growing up, I am autistic, right? But as a kid, it was way more like prevalent or noticeable. So I was I wouldn't say not pity played with, but you can get what I'm saying, right? That like I grew out of that thanks to my good decisions from my parents and getting me like counseling early on. I had like a diagnosis when I was young of like leaning toward either ADHD or autism, and depending like it's just somewhere on the spectrum, right? But depending on how I'm raised or like how they brought me up, I could be like bent toward either side a little bit more. And I mean, so I have I still have autism, but like the symptoms are way less prevalent. I've learned like grown with them, right? When it comes to like obsessiveness, this game is like the result of that, you know? Like I'm autistically like addicted to this game. I never enjoyed school. I've always tested high and stuff, and I tended to do stuff like didn't really study for school, like skip out on homework, whatever. My parents obviously didn't like that, but when Deadlock came out, I just like I couldn't even focus anymore on anything else. Like I was doing the very bare minimum to scrape by in my senior year, and that's why I'm glad I'm taking a break from school right now. I did a semester of community college. So I was going for my first semester, and after that semester, I'm like, yo, I need to take a break, bro. I hated high school for 4 years, and if I go into school immediately after, it's just awful idea, right? Going back to Fortnite, I played Fortnite a bit, and then that's when I actually got my first like gaming sort of PC. It wasn't a PC, it was a laptop at the time, because like in my stupid little child mind, I was like, I want to be able to bring it places, right? Like a dumbass. And Fortnite, like that whole thing was fun, and then like but I walk into like my mom's office while she's trying out a new game that I had never seen before called Destiny 2, and I got mad at her because she was doing the controls so ass. So I was like, yo, you gotta like crouch here, you gotta press control, it's telling you to press control. And I was like either 11 or 12 at the time. I grinded Destiny really hard, and it was like by far my favorite game. And part of I think why I like Holiday so much recently, and I didn't realize it until someone pointed it out, is she actually like feels really similar and plays similar to like how you'd play Hunter, which is a class in Destiny. I adored that game, and I still do, but I just can't play it because it's just been neglected and it's just so bad now. I loved the PvP in that game, but it was so horrible. I needed like something to break away from that game because of how bad it was, and Valorant ended up being that for me. Of course, I was still on and off Destiny at this point, so I'd come back to it every now and then. But I was looking at this game. My mom like showed me it of like a Twitter like clip of like Project A at the time it was called, right?
Yeah.
And I see Project A and I'm like, damn, this shit looks fucking sick. And she shows me, because I used to play Fortnite and watch a lot of Fortnite streamers. Courage JD, I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hitting like an ace with jet knives. I'm like, holy shit, that looks sick. But I played in the beta of that game and spent a little bit too much money in the beta of that game. Luckily, like 50%, it gave you like 50% back. So I'm watching Sentinels early on. I actually ended up duoing in Deadlock with Dapper like a year ago, so that was pretty sick. But that's why I ended up going to Valorant, and I played Valorant. I had like this crazy like ranked anxiety thing in that game where I just wouldn't play ranked in that game, and I just play quick plays. I actually got pretty good at the game just playing unrated. But like for whatever reason, I couldn't stomach the idea of ever losing, and that's just something that's like a pattern you'll notice. Like when it comes to me, I don't ever get comfortable with the feeling of losing. I don't think I ever will. So that's just the sign of being a good competitor, in my opinion. So I like improved slowly by playing like unrated, and then eventually I just decided one time, man, I'm bored, I'm gonna play ranked, and I went from I believe gold to diamond in one act, and then the next act I went from diamond to immortal. And my diamond rank up game, my MMR was so high that I was a plat 3 in a full immortal lobby on my rank up game, which was like,
wow.
This is before Ascendant was a thing. But then I just stopped, and I actually played for my high school team for a bit, and we went to nationals. We ended up losing in the first round of nationals, which sucked, but like it is what it is, right? And then it was just kind of like coasting at that point for me. Like I played a bit of Valorant, but the way I played it wasn't like to rank up or anything. I actually like, I mean, I guess I've always been a movement guy because I started playing Neon, and I like one trick Neon after that point. And what I do is I'd have like an account where I called Buccaneers, spelled like Buckineer, and I'd play only Bucky.
Don't tell me. Oh,
yeah.
No.
And I just clip farm, right? It was
Right.
It was like the only way I could have fun playing the game because I just couldn't take it seriously and want to like play.
Right.
Also, it made like a really bad habit I had to unlearn in Deadlock, which is holding W in the air, but I figured it out. I did like play some community tournaments, one called VCC, and it wasn't like anything hyper competitive, but I played in that, had fun, did well. I like got second place in one season, first in the other. But then like after the second season, I believe, I'm just messing around. Deadlock, I just take a look at like what's it called, some stuff online, and I see this Deadlock game has just like started. It just got like opened up. At the time, I believe a different game also was like just released. I think it was Concord. Yeah, Concord was just releasing. And I saw both, and I was like, well, Concord is obviously awful, but I look at Deadlock, and I'm like, damn, the graphics suck. This looks like TF2. I thought, like, I saw, the first clip I saw was Abrams charging someone into a wall, and it was like a flats clip, and I was like, damn, this looks like TF2 soldiers. That's horrible. And then I, like, didn't play it for, like, another week. But then I tried it, because someone was like, a Valorant chat was like, yeah, you want to try this game? I'm like, sure, man. Because he was just in it, and he just got me an invite. And I started playing. I was like, I just watched like Shroud streams a bit, so I tried a Vindicta at first because he was just playing Vindicta early on. The hero was a demon early on in the game, but then I played Viscus because like, yo, this hero just looks funny. He's like lowest win rate, lowest pick rate. He's got to be horrible. But then I play the hero, and I don't realize it at the time because I'm just blinded by the stats, and that's a mistake I'll never make again. Until Holiday released, he was the second strongest hero to ever touch the game, and then like obviously some of the newer heroes were stronger than Viscus was when he first released, but Viscus was demented, like really demented. And I like ran stupid builds, and part of what I did a lot, this was like in my senior year, so I just got super addicted to Deadlock. I just grinded the game, but like purely on Viscus, and I like messed around doing like really cheesy stuff, not like actually good builds, but like finding combos and tech on the hero. I've always been the kind of guy to like try to discover tech and stuff, you know? But I just have like, if you check like the Deadlock Discord, I have like 60,000 messages in it. And a lot of them are in a place called the Church of Viscus. And the Church of Viscus, there was like, before there were like hero channels, there were threads that were made for each character, and the Church of Viscus is one of them. And what I did is when I'm in school, I'd be messaging in that channel, like theorizing. And when I got home, I'd be like testing stuff and making combos, right? Like I wasn't even focused in school anymore, like even the slightest bit. I'd be watching streams in school and then waiting to play when I go home. Like I was spending I was consuming Deadlock like 12 hours of my day. And this is before there were queue times, right? So in the queue times, I'd get home like 30 minutes after the queues opened. So I'd play and I'd have a really good time. And when I don't know if you could even get into custom games when the queues were closed. I think you could. I would test stuff. There's a few techs I made. What really like skyrocketed me to higher rank was this guy called Disco Virtuoso. I'm sure you know of him.
Oh yeah.
He was the pioneer of all Viscus, you could say, right? His little E-shift thing, Mage Leap, right? The whole thing. And I didn't believe him when he said it was good, but then I tried it. I'm like, holy shit, this is sick. Before I tried his build, what I would do is I'd try to find the cheesiest stupid one-shot combo, but I just wasn't ranking up because I wasn't playing the game right. I was just fucking around doing the stupid little combos where what you do is there's a tech you had to do because Phantom Strike used to kill all your momentum like Warpstone did, where you'd buffer a Warpstone out of Phantom Strike to instantly hit someone with a ball with a Phantom Strike, and ball sometimes was long enough to guarantee heavy melee afterwards, so I wouldn't even use Goo Ball like Goo Ball. I'd use it to get the stun to start a heavy melee and then just full combo them afterward. And Viscus's burst damage at the time was so disgusting it actually worked, but you just be out of a character because you built around using your ball cooldown as a one like hit ability. But then I tried like Disco's build and tried playing on the ball, and bro, this shit was so broken. There was a patch that like allowed Viscus to hit people more often with the ball. It didn't increase his stun duration or anything. He went from hitting people every 1.5 seconds to 1.25 seconds, I believe. I think that was the patch note. And that just barely tipped over the scales enough to allow people who bought superior duration, which was an imbue at the time, to like give one item more duration than the rest, or one ability more duration than the rest, allowed him to permanently stun someone with like an E-shift combo in like a corner. And I had so many clips with that like build and that combo. And then Vegas started using it as well, but because Vegas started using it at the time and he was a huge streamer, right? He got patched pretty quickly and nerfed. And it was broken beyond all measure, but it was at least a hard build to play, so I'll give it that. When I was using that build, that's when I reached high rank. I didn't realize how much of a crutch I was on this character when I reached high rank, because I reached high rank purely off of like mechanics. I was just a purely mechanical player. I had no clue how the game worked or like anything at all. I was just good enough on this character that like, because of how broken he was, if you were just simply good enough at him, you just weren't allowed to die. And he actually got a patch that made a range scale on his Viscus ball, which didn't happen before. It used to not. At this time, there were small tournaments happening. I joined like a little fun team with my friend Fickle Frog and played in some early tournaments. And what actually like made me more known was Seagull and Deathy watching my POVs for some of these tournaments and watching me do crazy stuff on Viscus, because he was the only hero I really played. The most shameful part of my Deadlock career, which is melee paradox, is after this, and that's when I became a 2-trick. But I don't know if you know heavy melee cancel. I'm sure you do. People weren't really using it, but I like full on abused it. I made a build, just pure melee damage on paradox, and I'd first 2 items, Fleetfoot melee charge, and I'd double, like, it was so 4-lane meta, so I'd go from mid lane, one of the mid lanes, clear a wave, and then double melee cancel over to the next wave and double soak waves, and I'd have like triple the like souls per minute of other players in the lobby because they couldn't match my like roaming to the other lanes. And then I just oh bro, the funniest part about this entire thing, I'll have to get that in a second, but it was really broken, had to get nerfed, but I was for some reason convinced beyond any like reasonable standard that it should stay in the game. I was dumb. That's all I gotta say about that. And it eventually did get removed. They initially removed melee canceling from stuff like Carbine and Abrams Charge, and kept it on Fleetfoot and other items, but they eventually removed it like in total. Regardless, the funniest part about that whole thing was I just thought it was really funny if I just told people that there's a true combo on Paradox into melee, where if you Carbine them, you can't parry and you just get meleeed for free, and that's why it's so OP, right? And I was going to telling everyone that. This was a complete lie. Carbine actually... You actually could definitely parry in Carbine, but I like psyoped everyone for like about a month that you just couldn't parry Paradox if she Carbined you. So I played this build in the first week of ranked ever releasing, and I was one of the 12 people in NA week 1 of Turn 6.
Because you lied to
yes.
everyone.
Yeah, I lied to everyone, and I abused some broken buggy ass build, and I ran around like one-shotting people.
So funny.
Yeah.
And you're 17 doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun time.
I mean, just like listening to you, you know, as a fellow neurodivergent fellow, like having those hyperfixations, and like I can totally relate to like, especially like with our hyperfixations, like needing to be good at them, right? Like for me, that was like Valorant. Like I work in Valorant Esports primarily, and I demand perfection from myself. You know, I'm always trying to be better. I'm always trying to move forward. Because it's like almost like an obsession. I don't know if you would agree with that term.
No, I agree. I'm like, it's actually an unhealthy addiction to Deadlock is what I'd say I have. Like an absurdly unhealthy addiction. Like when I'm not playing the game, I'm thinking about the game, and I'm not playing or thinking about the game, I'm watching the game, right? Like I'm actually, I spend like at least 12 hours a day either consuming or thinking about Deadlock every single day. And it's definitely not like, it's definitely not good for me, but I just adore the game. I can't help myself.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't mean this in a mean way. Are you currently playing the game? Because I'm hearing your keystrokes.
Yeah, I'm just moving around the map.
I was doing your movement. But I mean, I love that. Like, it's like you have these, I mean, I think a lot of people like watching can relate, right? Like it's the thing that you want to be the best at, the thing you want to put the amount of time that you put into, and you want it to pay off. Like, yeah, I think especially a lot of like neurodivergent folks can relate to not being okay, like being like kind of like the rejection sense of dysphoria, where it's like rejection failure is something we struggle with. And so, so I totally understand that. And it's something interesting because when I was asking around, I asked, I think the Melee Creeps Discord, I asked like, hey, I'm interviewing Goober, any questions? One of the people asked me to ask about your family and kind of their reaction to moving in this professional direction, moving in, you know, content creation and playing on Floormen, etc. And the Discord were saying there was some resistance from your family initially.
Yeah.
But
I'll actually go over the exact situation because it's interesting. It actually wasn't resistance. It was how do I put it? They want to make sure my future is still secure, even if it doesn't work out, right? Now that's their first priority is my future. They have zero bad intentions or like just hate it because it's a game, right? No, they played games with me. Like my mom played Destiny 2 with me for years, right?
Yeah.
The main thing was they wanted to make sure I get a college education eventually, right? Mm-hmm. For a time I had a really shitty PC, but as a graduation gift, they actually got me a really good PC. So now I have a really good PC. Like they told me that the one thing they want to make sure I do is they want to make sure I have a degree at some point. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's fair. So I decided to go to college right away. But I mean, I just despised it. After a semester of college, I talked to them. I was like, yo, I don't want to go to college right now. I hate this shit. What they said is, look, if we save your education, right? You're basically getting educated for free. You don't have to pay money for it. So because of the amount of money that we put into your education, and in order to make sure you are responsible toward how you like live while you're not at school, you're going to pay us rent every month to live at our house, right?
Right.
And I was completely down for this. I just didn't know if I could stream enough to like pay this like rent, right? It was December to January. I streamed for 240 hours that month. I don't know the exact amount of hours a full-time job usually works, but and then the following month I streamed for 250. This month I streamed for 227, so I've actually cut back a little bit on the streaming, but my revenue has actually more than doubled.
Well, your viewer count has have a very substantial community, especially for the size of Deadlock.
My subscriptions have quadrupled and my viewership has quadrupled as well, which is like really, really sick. And I'm, like I said, I'm just so absurdly grateful for like the chance I've been given. Like the fact that people are willing to watch me, even like I'll put on like a YouTube video and go eat dinner, and I'll come back and there's still 300 people waiting. Like that just like warms my heart, you know? People are actually there waiting for me to come back. I've started getting to YouTube a little bit as well, because it's just a waste to not be doing YouTube if I'm getting this much viewership on Twitch. And it brings in more viewership on Twitch as well. So I did some coaching for Metro, where he was like he's notoriously a noob at movement, right? And I've been like friends with him for a little bit. So I was like, yo, he's trying to learn movement right now. I'll just coach him real quick. And it goes into like a 2-hour like coaching session, and we end up trimming it down to like a 10-minute video.
I mean, you're 18? I'm doing the math
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 18.
18, you have a couple hundred people watching you every single day for 8 hours as you stream, because you told me you try to stream for minimum 8 hours.
Yeah, I
And
don't go below that.
it's, I mean, you're so young, you found like this niche that really works for you, and you already have like such like a foothold in the community, right? Like, you know, people like, you know, working with Metro, right? Playing on Floormen. How do you feel about kind of having this role in the community for something? I mean, obviously you've worked very, very hard at being great at this game, and you want to continue being great at this game. Is there any sort of, I hate asking this because I think it's such a dumb question everyone asks, but like I ask it all the time. Is there like a pressure to continue like what you're doing to get to like be a better content creator in a way? Or are you just kind of more focused on making your passion and just like taking clips from that, if that makes any sense?
I think, I mean, it's kind of funny. I'll put it in a few ways. I try it for my sake to enjoy it, so I don't put in more effort than I feel like I want to toward it. How do I put it? People like want to see me succeed, which is, it's so nice. People are like offering to be editors and stuff or do my emotes or whatever. Super cool to see. Like there's this girl Primrose who just refuses payment but does all of my emotes, and it's just the most like sweet thing. Like honestly, like the main reason I'd ever want to do more isn't because I feel like I feel pressure toward it. Like I try not to look at it, but I want to make sure numbers are going up, right? I'm doing the right thing, but I also don't want to like burn myself out of it by looking at the numbers too much. It's like a weird balance, right? I'm just playing the game for 8 hours a day, streaming to people, talking in chat, and that's just it. Like I haven't even like tried editing anything. I barely had a Discord set up. My mom actually got so tired of my shit, she said, "Yo, I'll set it up for you." And I'm like, I don't want to make you do that. She's like, "I'm just gonna do it." I'm like, okay. Like,
That's wild.
yeah, like it's just, like I'm adverse to like, I don't know, doing more than I wanted to do with it, right?
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I want to do more because so many people clearly want to see me succeed. I don't know how else to put it. I feel like I just got lucky. I don't know if I was doing something right or got lucky, but like all the people who are regulars in my community are all like people I actually enjoy like talking to in my chat, and they aren't dumb. Even some of the rage baiters, like they know they're doing it on like they know what they're doing, right? But they're all nice. Like
I think like attracts like, no? Like I feel like you're a very intellectually curious person. You know, I think a lot of people see themselves in you. You to me, you sound wise beyond your years. Like I know, I like figuring out like you're 18 via the math. I was like, that makes sense. But like with all the math, but also like the way you speak and the way you like carry yourself, at least like vocally, you know, there's clear, like obviously like you like aren't gonna be like Coco Melaning across the the way. So I think, I mean, I think you look at like any community, right? Like for me, like there's a really niche video game that I like called Danganronpa, and it's like just a bunch of people who know. Oh, okay, so you know, like it can get like everyone just understands, like we don't talk about like the Fight Club. This is the Fight Club we don't talk about, but we're all in this together, right?
I know what it is. I'm not like, I don't know a lot about it, but I've heard of it. Mainly like the 2020 Junko hand sign thing.
Oh god. Oh,
that's like the main impression I have of it.
Oh, Junko Mishima. But like the community is very like, there's a very kind of like specific person who plays these games and like looks into these games. Like it's a very like niche thing, right? And it's like baseball fans, right? Wrestling fans, you know, because I like both. I think, you know, when you look at your community, just like having observed your stream for a while, they're very supportive of you, which, as you're saying, is absolutely true. But they treat you as the expert, right? Which you are, right? You put so much time into this. You obviously are like, know you're good at this. You're making the guide. You're working with other incredible players. They look to you for advice, for knowledge, for whatever it may be. And so it's, again, like you were pretty young. Like if I had this responsibility at 18, I would have crumbled. Like I was not ready at 18. But especially because this seems kind of older too. When you talk about kind of the Deadlock and like Deadlock Esports, a lot of the folks you're playing with and competing with are like just kind of gearing towards being like in their 20s, mid 20s. Like John, who I spoke to last week, is my age, 27.
Yeah.
You have a John bonus question coming up soon, so buckle up. But do you feel, I hate making this a question, but I'm just genuinely curious. You said you feel very welcome in the community. Do you feel like there's an age gap, or do you kind of feel like this sounds terrible out of context, like the age doesn't really matter in Deadlock and everyone's just like talking about skill.
So I actually have a lot to say about that, which is interesting. I feel like part of like the whole like wise beyond my years thing you're saying isn't because like anything specific to me. It's the fact that I was just in any sort of like video game environment I've been in, I've always been around people older than me. I've always been the youngest in any situation ever. Like on my Valorant team, I was a sophomore, rest of my team was a senior, right? TF2 Boomers, you know it in the name, right? Like everyone there. The smallest age gap was 7 years between me and the youngest besides me, right?
Yeah. And you're Gen Alpha technically, no?
No, I'm Gen Z. I'm Gen Z.
You're Gen Z?
I'm like younger Gen Z though, yeah.
Dang.
But I mean, I definitely had insecurities sort of for a while, especially on teams. Even till like something very recently, like it feels almost weird to me to try to tell people like who I consider, because I don't even consider myself an adult yet. I turned 18 like a few months ago. I'm like, it feels weird. So like for me, even trying to tell adults that they're like wrong or that they're doing something stupid or like I don't like the way they're like approaching something, it felt like almost like off to me, and I didn't even want to try it, right? And I feel like it almost led to like an inferiority complex on a lot of teams I was on, where I just didn't believe I was good enough for the role I was in. And it took me until getting kicked off of Sneaky Golem for me to realize like that I wasn't where I was, because of like I'm not some nepo baby in like the Deadlock scene. I actually deserve to be where I am.
Yeah.
And I'm the best at what I do, and it isn't close in this region either. Right, and I'm not afraid to say that. I do think it's egotistical to say that, but I don't think it's a bad thing to have an ego. I'd much rather have an ego than look at myself and not like a single thing I do. I'm not going to try and pretend that I don't have an ego, kind of thing. If I put the effort into something and I know I'm good at something, I'm going to be outward that I'm not gonna shy away from the fact that I'm good at it.
Just to be clear for the audience and just for me, when you say you're the best at what you do, is it just like playing the game in general, your role, making like, what is it specifically?
It's not the game. There are players better than me at the game, like for sure. And I mean, I can name like the most prevalent ones. Obviously it's gonna be more than I say, or maybe like obviously I'm gonna rate myself higher than I probably should be. Again, ego thing. But like the people I look up to skill wise, Hoot, D-Mob, John, Saya, and like Rocker, all like those players. There are more, but like I really look up to them as players for sure. But when I mean the best at what I do, I truly do believe, at least in North America, that I am the best pick player, and I have the best movement in North America. Not like movement period, but out of players in the competitive scene I do.
I mean, talking about the competitive scene, you know, your journey, like talking about TF2 Boomers, Sneaky Golems, now Floormen, moving on, you kind of had already like had a pretty like long career in Deadlock Esports, which is kind of crazy to say because it isn't like officially a thing technically. But you're describing kind of all these highs and lows that you've had pretty regularly with, being kicked off Sneaky Golems, kind of finding your groove again, finding, your voice, finding your confidence. Where, obviously right now you say you've grown a lot in the last few months. How do you feel now on Floormen as a player and as someone who is, as you just said, the best at, pick playing and movement?
It's a weird feeling because you aren't winning. That's what hurts. Like I can say I'm the best at something, but if I'm not winning, it's not real,
Yeah.
So I can say I'm the best at this, the best at that, whatever, but there's no results to back it. That's the reality, right? You can always like look at stats or whatever, but stats are fake. It's just the only stat that ever matters in Deadlock is KDA, not KDA, but deaths specifically on the carry roll, and that is it. So how it feels to be like, I mean, even though I'm losing, I'd still say I'm the happiest I've been, right? I want to win, but I mean, first of all, like feeling like I'm growing as a person, as a content creator, as a player, even if I don't see the results in placement or in earnings or in wins, I still feel the improvement. And even if it's hard sometimes to see it, I try to stay grounded and realize that it's just one step at a time, And something our team likes to say is oil the machine, right? Everyone has their role, and we all know how to play our role. It's just about how we do it and how effectively we do it. So just oil the machine. Don't lose sight of the goal. Just keep improving.
Well, something I want to ask you, which I know John said, because I saw you in chat during his interview. The first thing you said about was how handsome he was, and then he went dead silent when he was talking about this. Is he said, he's just gonna be honest that Floormen are just copying. Keep it about Floormen are just copying us. With what you're saying, with how much you think about the game, how often you play it, what you like, again, this is your like niche special interest. That to me can't be true with how you think about the game and how you play it versus what John is saying.
When I saw what John said, what he said was correct, but like the way he phrased it was weird. He said that we're copying them and he's bored of playing versus us because it's like we're trying to do the same thing as them. But the reason we're trying to do the same thing as them, and like it's like compared to BWC, for example, where the way they play is like they legit just run at you. They see you on the map and they just start drooling, right?
He said the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. That's not correct gameplay. That's
Okay.
the thing. We're striving melee creeps. It's not about play style. Like they're just playing the games correctly better than us. That's it. And we, like I said, are trying to match that. It's not like a play style thing. If we are just playing the game fundamentally correct and not fucking up, we'll never lose to like it just like you'll never lose to a team with a different play style because it doesn't exist. There are ways to play the game that are just like correct, and I think the correct way to play around the game right now is just mainly for urns, right? And the thing is like we've struggled mainly versus melee creeps on urns specifically, like depositing urns. Like there was a game and we played them in the best of 3 2 weeks ago where we won every like fight and we were up like more than double their kills, but they got every urn deposit, so they were up souls, right? I don't know if it was in the best of 3 or if it was in scrims, but like when it comes to actual like neutral game between urns, I believe we outclass them in that. But when it comes to the actual urns, that is where we struggle, right? And I truly do believe that if we play the game correctly, like we should, and don't leave gaps for a team like BWC with their more like aggressive nature and aggressive play style to like try to abuse, right? Like, because what they do is they'll take advantage of people being scared on waves or like not punishing really aggressive plays and just go for stuff that would seem like almost stupid or doesn't make sense, but it's the correct play, not because it should be the correct play, but it's the correct play because we are letting them do it, if that makes sense. And that's why like after we got beat by BWC, and I mean it was just heartbreaking because at least in the game that we played, we were up so much, and I believe like we won the early game really, really hard, and we actually won a mid boss too. But like it was almost devastating from my like point of view because my role in the game wasn't necessarily over, but I did everything I could to like almost a max level, right? And it was just out of my hands. I was like shaking. I didn't know what to do. At the end of the game, like, it was actually just so emotional that day. Like I was so sad.
So you're playing tomorrow, correct?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
This is coming out after that Deadlock Night Shift, so future people know what's going on. But tomorrow you're playing again. Do you feel like, you know, there's kind of like you need to fail upwards? I don't know if you've heard of that saying. Like you need to have a bad, I think we have a saying in theater called you have a bad dress rehearsal, you have a great show. Like you need to royally mess up before you can do well. Do you think that like, in a way, like you kind of needed that to happen last week against BWC in order to kind of have, you know, the dam break and like speak to your team about what you were feeling and come to this, what I'm assuming is a much better place with your team?
I think it was something that was required to happen, yeah. I think like emotionally, I was just unstable like for like the last like few weeks of losing. There was like there definitely things I could have improved on for sure. Like, I mean, for everyone, we wouldn't be losing if people were playing perfect, right? But I just wasn't saying enough, like when it came to like criticism or what I thought in general, I just wasn't saying enough. And I think moving past that has felt really good. I don't know, like I can't with full confidence say some bullshit like, oh, we're just gonna win this night shift, right?
Kind of moving in like a bigger picture, I think when you look at the kind of greater Deadlock competitive community, a lot of it is like kind of cycling a lot of the same folks. That is like in a lot of esports, to be fair, but especially with how new, air quotes, and how small Deadlock is as a scene. You know, you're scrimming against the same people you're like competing against right away. You're trying kind of the same people. You new teammates coming in, coming out. How do you, I guess for the audience, because I think I have a lot of viewers who don't maybe know Deadlock as intimately as they know, let's say Valorant, where I come from, primarily. I think they might be a little concerned with how you grow from that, right? Like how do you, if you're kind of like, you know, you're going down the same hill all the time, you won't be ready for, you know, like Black Diamond or whatever it may be. Do you, in your opinion, how do you see yourself grow and get better when you're kind of competing against the same folks, both in scrims and like competition over and over again?
It's hard, honestly. Like that's why we're focused on, and like I think this game, well, the game is a lot of nuance, right? And obviously compared to a game like Valorant or CS, where I would say the games themselves are one-dimensional, but there's a lot less to think about in those games. But despite that, I feel like there's still correct ways to play, and I think there are unpunishable ways to play and fundamentally like good ways to play the game. And I think focusing on that is the ideal direction for improvement, instead of focusing on strategies that would beat a specific team or stuff that is good versus a specific team. Just trying to, again, oil the machine, right? No one's perfect, but we should strive for perfection, kind of thing. Even if it isn't possible, just fundamentals. It's all fundamentals. This game is like 99% fundamentals at like the highest level. I feel like it isn't some crazy mechanical outplay, just being at the right place at the right time, being at the objectives, playing them right. And I mean, our main thing is to earn, man. Our fucking earns, bro. Like every time. Every fucking time.
I kind of going back to my question about kind of the small community, I'm gonna take something you said in your stream recently where you kind of talked about the rank inflation issue. Rank inflation. There are so many people who are, in your words, in Eternus 6 specifically, who maybe don't belong in Eternus 6.
Yeah.
With that in mind, is there anyone who you play with in that you'd like to see compete with, like in kind of join the competitive scene? Anyone you think could hang if they tried?
There's one person that I've just like kept in the back of my mind. Spooky is pretty good. Honestly, like it's hard because you just can't improve in matchmaking. Like it's sad to see, like you play matchmaking, and if you know the name, they'll be good. If you don't, they're just horrible. It's like in the least mean way possible.
No, that's not even a high elo thing in Valorant all the time. Like, oh, this person throws my games. Oh, this person does this. Like that is tale as old as time. Any high elo.
It's just you see somebody who you know or is on a team at the same rank as anyone, right? And you compare the skill level, it's just insane. It's such an insane gap. So it's hard for me to say like this person could play comp because those people just don't exist. It's hard. Like the skill gap between like scrimming and playing is so absurd. People in Eternus 6 don't even, like in NA, don't even show up for earn pickup. Like that's how disgustingly bad Eternus 6's state is right now. You play an Eternus 6 average game and you have to beg your whole team to even show up to an earn pickup fight.
My last question for you is, you've spoken about, your parents and having you pay rent. Moving forward, if and when there's a world where Deadlock Esports pops off and it's like bigger than Dota, bigger than international. There's also a world where it's either very, very small, doesn't have a big scene, or it just doesn't, like Gears of War, it collapses. Let's say the world that we're in right now is a world where it doesn't do well. Like it just doesn't really have that backing, doesn't really have that player base. Is that something, how would you feel as someone who's put so much time into this game, competing, getting better, being open and honest and vulnerable with your teammates? Does that scare you, or do you feel like the time you've spent is still worth it at that point?
I mean, it does scare me, but the thing is, like, I have so much pure, like, raw confidence in this game that's just a fear that doesn't really pass over my mind much.
Okay.
Even if the comp scene isn't huge, the game will be. And, like, I'm 100% sure of it. Comp scene, that's to be seen, right? I think it still will be big enough. But even if I'm not, like, making a ton of money from the pro scene, I'll still be known from it, and I'll still make content and stuff, stream the game. Besides that, just to answer your question directly, if that were to be a thing, I'd just go back to school, man. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I said, my parents don't make me pay rent if I'm getting educated, and I can go back to community college whenever I want. And then once I get my 2 year from that, I can just go transfer elsewhere and decide what I want to do with my life. But until then, I was just taking a semester off for Deadlock, but you're gonna see how Deadlock was doing like a few months later, and we're almost at that. We're like almost at that point now. I think we're at that point. And it's safe to say this shit's still growing. So I don't think I think it might just be a full year, and we'll see what happens another like 6 months later.
All right, for the outro today, my mug is not a mug, it's actually a vase. My Valentine's flowers from my dad came in, I washed it out. The tea is lemon. My Steam Deck is in my bedroom, but it has Final Fantasy X currently on it. And the thing I actually want to make this outro about is Magic the Gathering, because I recently have gone into it very new. I'm on like maybe like day 7 of playing the game, and I'm still learning a lot. I'm still like trying to remember that like flying creatures can't be blocked except by flying creatures, but I'm having so much fun. So if you have any advice of how to learn, I'm playing MTG Arena. I play Commander with my friends on Tabletop Simulator. I'm learning. I'm very easily confused, but I am learning. So any tips and any advice anyone has, please let me know down in the comment section.